All right, I've gone through the Jazz roster and I have my predictions of what this roster is going to look like this season, but this was pretty hard, guys. When you actually go through the roster, you start to see all the different negatives and deficiencies and faults, and I think the Utah Jazz, based off of this roster construction, even with Lauri Markkanen on the team, are going to struggle to win games. But based off of what I think Will Hardy's going to do and the goals of the Utah Jazz roster, here's what I think is going to happen. All right, to start, I believe the for sure thing that's going to happen is Lauri Markkanen is starting. He is the best player on the Utah Jazz. He just got his big-time contract. He's going to play. Now, the question is, how long will he play? Will the Jazz pull him? Is he going to play on back-to-backs? Are the Jazz going to rest him for injuries a lot? I have a feeling he's going to miss a lot of games this year for phantom injuries, strained hamstring this, sore back that. He's going to miss a lot of games. But if the Jazz have all their players and they plan on playing their best players, their best lineups, and are not really that much thinking about tanking or whatever, then Lauri Markkanen is obviously starting. Whether they're tanking or not, he's going to start. Now, that made me decide on what my philosophy for this list is going to be, and I do believe it's going to be a mix of trying to play the best players while also developing guys, because I do believe Will Hardy is kind of in on this capture the flag. For the next spot that I think is a for sure starter for this team, and maybe I look dumb later, but Keyonte George is going to start. He looked great in his rookie debut. He had some up and downs his rookie season, but we saw the flashes of what he could be. Now he gets a chance to play again. He's going to look even better, having taken his lumps last season. It's going to be a nice year for Keyonte George, and I think he's going to look really good. All right, next player I think is going to start, and this is when it starts to get a little bit hard. Between two players I was looking at for the center position, you've got either Walker Kessler or John Collins. And the question for Utah is, are you thinking about the future? Are you thinking about trades? Because you could argue both could be on showcase, where they're playing players to showcase them. And in that scenario, I think Walker Kessler gets the nod, because if they want to trade Walker Kessler, then they're probably going to play him to show what he can do. At the same time, if they're trying to just think about the future, then they're going to play Walker Kessler as well, because he's young and they want him to play for the future. So it just makes a lot of sense for Utah to play Walker Kessler. They tried to trade John Collins, could not do it. And so that's why I think Walker Kessler is going to get the start at the beginning of the season at center. He started last year at center, and so I think it's going to happen again. He does provide the rim protection and defense that the Jazz lacked last year. And the Jazz get another chance to just see how far he comes. Is he going to have a better year? Is he going to look like the rookie Walker Kessler we saw? Or is he going to look like second-year Walker Kessler? And if he looks like year one Walker Kessler, then he should lock up that starting position. If he looks like he did last year, then he'll lose the position again to John Collins. But I think to start the season, it's going to be Walker Kessler. All right, next is that power forward position. And I'm calling it power forward because I think Lauri Markkanen is basically going to play that 3 spot. I think Taylor Hendricks is going to get the start at the power forward position, because honestly, it's hard to look at this team and figure who else is going to start over him. Utah made some trades this offseason. They do not have a for sure veteran that's going to start over him. And so Taylor Hendricks has a chance to really shine, look really good this year, and show what he can do. He got those minutes to end the year last year, and Taylor Hendricks will get that time this year at the 4 spot to show what he can do. Finally, who's starting that other guard spot? You could talk about Jordan Clarkson. You could talk about, I guess, Isaiah Collier if the Jazz want to get crazy, but I think who they're going to put into that other starting guard spot is Colin Sexton. He is the number 3 contract on the team. The Jazz have invested in him. He's a veteran. He knows how to play. And we've seen that Will Hardy will tend to lean towards that veteran presence when he's given the opportunity to play it. So I think that rounds out the starting roster for Utah at that guard spot. And so the backup to Lauri Markkanen at the 3 is going to be Cody Williams. He looked good in his debut in Summer League. He played basketball the right way. He shot the ball. He played defense. He made plays. He just played the right way. And I think he has a chance here to develop. I think Utah wants to play him both to develop him, and also they aren't going to be too sad if the Jazz lose some games while their rookie learns the ropes, you know? So Cody Williams is likely going to be that backup 3. And then to back up Keontae George in that scoring role, I think it's for sure going to be Jordan Clarkson. He is still on the team. He's going to play. And I think the Jazz have kind of gotten comfortable playing him in that 6th-man role. He fits that better than when he starts. Last year when he started, it just did not go well. So Jordan Clarkson is going to be on kind of in that backup role. And then John Collins is going to back up Walker Kessler in that center spot. They seem to have found a comfortability with him there. That's a word, comfortability with him in the backup center spot, and that's what I think he's going to play. And we know that he provides that shooting from the 5. He rebounds actually really well. That was another thing about Walker Kessler he's got to improve. John Collins was a better rebounder than Walker Kessler last year. It was not debatable. He was just a flat-out better rebounder, and it's part of why he won the role. If Walker Kessler does not rebound the ball better, he may be looking at being a backup big again. So for now, John Collins backs him up. And then I think Johnny Juzang, who just re-signed with the Jazz again this offseason, is going to get more minutes. He looked pretty good that last month of play. He shot the ball well, and he plays that power forward role. He's versatile, and he can shoot the lights out. When he's hitting that shot, he is a great shooter. And so I think Johnny Juzang is that backup 4. That's a 9-man rotation. That's a lot of players, but I think 9-man rotation isn't that unheard of during the regular season. Obviously, we have other players that might be able to step in. If Lauri Markkanen sits and you're playing Cody Williams, maybe you get some Kyle Filipowski in there and some other things like that. Bryce Sensabaugh has got to be able to find minutes, and I think Bryce Sensabaugh could compete with Jordan Clarkson for that backup guard role. And then obviously I'd like to see some Isaiah Collier. And then of course Patty Mills is on this team. Patty Mills might beat out Jordan Clarkson. So for now, I think Jordan Clarkson gets the nod, but it's going to be interesting. Those backup minutes are where the competition is really going to be. And even in the starting role, I think those starters, there is a world where Will Hardy just plays Patty Mills in the starting lineup. I would hate it, but it wouldn't be out of the question if he plays really well in camp and just kind of proves himself. But I think Utah has got a very clear vision of what they want to do, and this is what I think they're going to do. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to the channel members. I appreciate you a ton. The season's coming back soon. Shout out to the All-Stars. I appreciate you very much. Guys, I'll talk to you next time.